Hey guys, this is Brandon. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some spare ribs over the charcoal grill. I made a video not too long ago, but it was a little short. Today I'm going to do a redo, and I'm going to do it to go back to my roots and just get back on the charcoal. Let you see how you can smoke ribs too, just with a regular charcoal grill. I'll see you in the backyard. Alright guys, we're back in the house. We're doing some spare ribs today. Now what I have here, this one here is a St. Louis cut spare rib. Look how nice and thick and meaty it is, kind of like me, thick and meaty. And then we have just a traditional spare rib that still got the rib tip on top that you can see here, and it hasn't been squared off. We're just going to leave, you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead on and pull the tip off of it, but I'm not going to try to square it off or anything. These are home cooked ribs, or even when I cook ribs for catering and stuff like that, I don't worry about squaring them off. This is not a competition. This is home cooked ribs. So also what I'm using this regular old yellow mustard as a binder. And then I have my own seasoning blend that we're going to use today, which is brown sugar, pepper, salt, a little paprika for color. Real basic, but real delicious. What I want to do though, start off cutting off some of this fat. The stuff that you're not going to eat, you're not going to render down. I don't need to cut all the fat off because a lot of this will get rendered down when we cook it. But just some of the nasty stuff that you know you're not going to eat. So go ahead and cut that off. Like this fat here, I'm going to leave it alone. And then definitely want to pull this membrane. But it actually looks like it already may be gone. Let me see. May have gotten lucky. Yep. So this one doesn't even have a membrane on it. So that's good. Some of this skirt off, a little bit more fat off the back. Alright, this one is ready to rock. Now for the big one, like I said, I'm going to pull the tip off of it. And that's it. We're still going to cook that rib tip. Like I said in a previous video, rib tips are my favorite barbecue food to eat. I think they're delicious. Finger food. But you know, that's just me. Alright, cut that nasty inside. Alright, first thing I want to do, cut the nasty skirt off of this one too. Now, some people leave that on, and I don't though. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of waste in any of the food that I cook, as far as like ribs and brisket or whatever. But that I don't fool with. All right. Now we're just gonna cut that rib tip off. You can pretty much see the fat line that separates the rib tip to the rib right there. So that's what we're going to follow. All right, just make sure you have a sharp knife. Just a regular sharp knife will do. I know some folks use serrated knives, but you don't need to saw at it. Just have a sharp enough knife and you can cut it right off. Square it off, and that's going to go on the grill with us too. Let me pull this membrane off of here. The easiest way to do it to me is grab you a paper towel and you can pull right at it. It comes off simple. Little to no fuss at all. Now some of them can be a little tricky or a little stubborn, but for the most part, you can get you a little knife or whatever. Just kind of go underneath the membrane just enough to where you can put your paper towel and get a finger under there and rip it right on off. Take that on off. Now we're ready to season. Now I did a rib video before and it rained, and it was just a really short video, and I was not able to really go in depth like I wanted to. So here's just the makeup video for the ribs. Now also, I'm going to be smoking these on just a regular charcoal grill. Going back to my roots, the way I first started learning how to smoke meat. I'm not using any technology. I'm doing it by feel. That's how I learned, and that's what we're going to do today. This video is kind of like for the person who doesn't necessarily have a smoker or a nice smoker or whatnot, and they have to use a charcoal grill. Don't think that you can't get good smoked meat out of a regular charcoal grill. You can do it. You just have to use your little ingenuity, and it's really not that hard. Just patience. A little bit more of that fat off of there. All right, there we go. Trimmed, washed, now ready to season. Glove off. First thing we're going to do, I like to do the back side first. Mustard. Rub that mustard on in, and we're going to season both sides. I say you don't eat the bottom. I like to think that it penetrates from the front end, the back, or the top and the bottom, or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to season the whole rib. I can go fairly heavy with this seasoning. It doesn't have, it's really 2 parts sugar, 1 part salt, 1 part pepper, and then a 1/2 part garlic powder and paprika. Come back, hit it real good. We're gonna go nice and heavy. And we're going, got that sugar in there, that brown sugar. Sometimes it likes to stick or clump, so give it a little shake or beat it on the countertop and get it back rocking. All right. That's our seasoned ribs. See. All right, guys, we're outside at the grill. What I want to show you what I've done, I've got a water pan underneath the racks, and it's also acting as a barrier for my charcoal. I've just got a bed of charcoal in there right now. We're going to lower this the charcoal bed down to the lowest setting, or to the lowest notch. If you can see these notches here, we're going to lower it all the way down. We're going to close up this grill for probably 15 minutes just to get it hot in there, and then we're going to go ahead and put the ribs on. But I kind of wanted to show you what my setup was. And this charcoal I'm using is actually this Royal Oak briquettes. It's not the best charcoal. It burns super hot and kind of fast, but that's okay. And then we're going to use, I have some cherry chunks, Western cherry chunks that we have right there, that we're going to use for smoke. So right as soon as I put the ribs on, I'm going to drop those chunks in there too, and try to get as much smoke as I can into those ribs early, because I understand I'm going to be running a hot fire, and they're going to cook faster than what I normally would if I was using one of my smokers. So anyhow, I'll see you guys out here in just a minute. All right, guys, it's time to put these ribs on. Now before I start, the damper on the bottom next to the coals, I got halfway open. The damper up top is probably, I'm not going to say 3/4 open, probably just over halfway open. We're going to put our ribs on. I'm going to put this thick one right here, making sure that you kind of squish them together when you're cooking them. And we're going to put this one right next to it. Then we're going to put the thick part of the rib tip closest to the fire and put that right here. We're going to put on our cherry chunk, get it smoldering, get it smoking, and we're going to let it go. Now what we're going to do is probably every half hour or so, I'm going to take these ribs and I'm going to rotate them. That way they take turns being close to the fire. That way one end doesn't get burnt up while the other end is doing good. Then we're going to spritz them as well with apple juice and water And then we're just gonna keep rocking. Every so often I'll probably have to come out here, put a handful of unlit coals there where I can keep the fire going. But other than that, that's how you're gonna smoke these things on a regular charcoal grill. I'll see you guys back out here in just a minute. Guys, it's been exactly 1 hour since we last put the ribs on. I actually want to give them a little time for the seasoning to set up or whatnot on there. So it's been 1 hour. I'll take a good look at them. See how pretty they're looking. They're looking good. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to keep this rib tip kind of like it is, but the ribs I'm going to rotate. That way they can take turns being closer to the fire. See that? And we're going to spritz them real good. Like I said before, we're just using apple juice and water. Apple juice and water, good spritz. That rib tip real good. Alright, I'm back at it. I'm probably got I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a handful of this charcoal over here. And then keep it rocking. More. We may have to do this every 45 minutes or so. Just a handful and a half or a handful, and we'll be good to go. So that's it, guys. Let's keep on rolling. All right, guys. Back out here at the smoke. Take a good look at those ribs. It's been 1 hour and 30 minutes so far, and they're looking good. So I'm just going to spritz them down again. And again, rotate them, but this time I'm only going to rotate them a quarter turn. So now they're going to be going parallel to the racks instead of horizontal. We're going to take it, that one there, put that one there, put that tip right over here. Just like that. That's it, guys. Keep on rolling. All right, guys, we're back. Time to pull these puppies off. You see how pretty they are. You see that pull back on the bone. No wrap. Just went all the way through. We cooked these ribs exactly 3.5 hours. What we did was rotate them every 30 minutes after the first hour. Spritz them every 30 minutes when we rotated them. I took the rib tip off probably about an hour ago. It was already done. And put some baked beans on out here. And we just let these things ride. So first we just rotated them horizontally. Then we begin to rotate them 45 degrees for the rest of the cook and spritz them. They look perfect. They're tender, juicy. So all I got to do now is just take them in the house, tint them, let them rest a little bit, let these baked beans get done. And then next time I'll see you, we'll be plating up and giving these things a try. See you in just a sec. All right, guys, we're back in this kitchen, getting ready to cut these ribs up. Look how beautiful they are. How shiny that pretty that color is. That's exactly what you're looking for in those ribs. That rib tip, nice and shiny, pretty. Now that's how I want my ribs, tender, but still on the bone, not falling off the bone. And I'm not sure this camera does justice of how juicy this rib really is and how moist, but you could definitely see that smoke ring. So that's exactly what we were shooting for. Those cherry chunks on top of that charcoal did an awesome job. Awesome job. Just look at that. Look how pretty that rib is. That's competition worthy if you ask me. I'm gonna cut this tip up. That's my favorite part right there. Again, super juicy, super moist. You can see that smoke ring in there. Perfect. No sauce needed. Just spritz it every 30 minutes. After that first hour, and you'll achieve what you're looking for. And we're gonna cut up the second rib just to let you see. Wasn't no fluke in the first one. This is what we do. I definitely love my smokers and will never go back from them, but look at that. Look at that. Perfect. But this is where I got my roots, y'all. This is how I started. Alright guys, we're back. Here's a finished look at that plate. You see how good it looks. I can't wait to dig in. I told you guys before that the rib tips were my favorite barbecue food, so that's what I'm going to eat, but I did get a rib. Just so you guys can see how tender it is. You saw how juicy it was. Let's dig in. Look at that. Falls right off the bone. I don't like my ribs where you can shake the meat off. If that's the case, you might as well be eating pulled pork. But that's what you want. Be able to bite right through it. Super tender, super juicy, delicious, and smoky. There's no reason why you can't smoke your own ribs if you have a charcoal grill. You saw what we did today. It was super simple. You could do it yourself. Just get you a charcoal pit, pan, fill it up with water, a couple wood chunks, and you can do it yourself. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. Until the next time, God bless you.